Okay, I gave you the book to
Yeah,
It's Not
I
Money.
took a picture of it.
And Peter Mallouk.
It's Unshakable.
Unshakable,
Yeah.
yes. Tony Robbins, Peter Mallouk, Unshakable. Justin's going to put up a graphic. Where are you putting it, Justin? Here? Here? Where's he putting it? Anyways, read that book. It's a very basic book. You probably read it 3-4 hours, something like that. Simple terms. One thing that we didn't talk about in the hot tub when we were totally clothed, I bonds is something that I think anybody could get into. So I bonds are, you know what treasury bonds are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like treasury, I don't know what that I stands for, but they're like treasury bonds, but they're tagged to inflation. So right now they are annual interest rate is I think like 9.6% or something like that on treasury bonds, dude. These are bonds backed by the U.S., full faith of the U.S. government. Like, if they go bad on that, you got bigger problems than money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are hunting each other for food, okay? So I think anybody, if you have some extra cash and you're looking to do some investing, which, by the way, I am not an investment advisor. Don't listen to me. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing
He doesn't
with money.
even know that the I in I bond
I don't know what
stands
the
for inflation.
exactly. If
He
you listen to
fucking
this
said it.
advice right now, you will lose all of your assets. You're going to be homeless if you listen to my advice. So don't listen to Dylan's investment advice because I'm not an investment advisor.
We just choose to talk about this to fill up time.
Yeah, that's all we're doing right here. We're just guys that are talking. I would buy some I bonds is what I would do. I'd actually try buying a new set. They have a cap and their website's crashing because the interest rate's so high. It's like just Google I bonds and you can buy them treasurydirect.gov or something. You're buying bonds from the government that have a 9% interest rate, dude. Go buy that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But what we talked about in the hot tub when we were partially clothed.
Went from fully to partially.
Okay, so this one night, Sonny came over to my house after a hockey game, and we spent 2 hours in the spa.
Just chilling.
Dude, I was so waterlogged after that. Anyways, you're going to get it wrong, which you'll learn this in Unshakable. You're going to get your investments wrong. I know a lot of young people, a lot of college people are talking about crypto and Robinhood made it really easy for everybody. You could set it up on your phone. You could put $5 in or something like that, and you had people with massive amounts of college debt buying GameStop. Okay, buying some stonks.
Mm-hmm.
Which, why the hell they call them stonks?
Stonks.
I love that.
I love it too. It's my favorite meme.
Why
Honestly.
stonks?
Stonks.
I'll say that to
Stonks.
to older people in my family or whatever. Like, yeah, I bought some stonks last night, and they're like,
What the fuck is a
dude,
stonk?
this guy is high. What you'll learn in Unshakable is you're going to always be wrong. The smartest people in the world, they end up in Wall Street. And if you look at, take it over the long term. If you look at right now, go back 10 years ago, you can find in Wall Street Journal, Barron's, whatever, top 10 hedge fund managers or whatever, top 10 fund managers. Like, these people are the best in the world. They're unstoppable, right? If you were to take those top 10 people, like 9 out of the 10 of them underperformed just buying broad market index funds, right? The lesson there is those people are the smartest people in the world. You probably aren't the smartest person in the world. So do you think that you're going to be able to beat them? Probably not. And if you did make some short-term bets that actually won, it was just fucking luck. And realize that. The best thing long-term, which again, I'm not an investment advisor, don't listen to me. The best thing long-term is broad market index funds, which is what I do, what I would not recommend to you because you shouldn't listen to my advice. Brian, don't listen to this. Is just buy broad market index funds. I personally have a mix. All I did, which I told you about this before, all I did was I Googled I think it was like Warren Buffett or Bill Gates top recommended index funds, and they, there's multiple articles that talk about the same shit, and they both had 10 index funds, low cost index funds that they recommended, different mix. I just kind of chose what I liked, and I have maybe 15% in global, 15% in tech, 20% in blue chips and stuff like that. If you bet on the long-term prosperity of the American and global economy, Over the next year, you might lose money. Over the next 2 years, you might lose money. Over the next 20 years, that is a bet that has never not paid off. So bet in the long-term prosperity. Don't pick individual stocks, and buy some I bonds while they're hot.
What's your? Do you know what Acorns is?
Acorns? Yeah, the little things that fall from trees.
No, you dumbass. the actual app. So it basically lets you invest. And what I've used it for is
It's like Robinhood, isn't it? I have
not necessarily. So basically, they used commercials to kind of market where, let's say you buy a sandwich for $5.95.
Mm-hmm.
Acorns rounds it up to $6 and takes that 5 cents and invests it. And what I used it for, because like I said, I had no prior experience to investing. I was just told by a family friend, like, hey, look into this. It's pretty cool. And if you have, the money to kind of spare, then every time you purchase something, those extra few cents will go in and kind of count for it. And it basically just takes that money and it invests it. Where it invests, I don't know. But what do you think about that kind of scheme towards investing, instead of picking out your own types of bonds like I bonds, or picking out your own kinds of like funds, just letting the computer do its thing, or letting whoever runs Acorns do its thing over the long term?
So one with what my strategy is to point this out. I picked it out 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember. 40 years from now, I plan on owning the same shit, right? Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm taking a look at it all the time. Like, that's part of what you learn in Unshakable, is like you pick it, you set it, and you forget it. I think anything that gets people kind of involved is probably a good thing, right? So if you're just like getting involved and getting excited about investing and like investing in the long-term prosperity, I think that's probably a good thing, right? So I wouldn't be opposed to that. The problem with kind of like those apps, or like, again, I don't know enough about Acorn, but based on like kind of what you're describing, they probably have a fuck ton of fees, which fees will eat you alive. So that would probably, I wouldn't make that my main investing strategy. But if it's getting you a little bit in the game, I think that's okay.